You're listening to Redman in the House. Hey, it's a podcast.
Man who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Welcome back. Hey, this is a very special one. Redman in the house. Hey, it's a podcast, but hey, today's 4th of July while we're recording. Hope to have this out to you really soon because today was so magical. As you saw in the open, such an incredible thing out there. What you guys did. All the veterans up there on the stage, not a dry eye in the house.
We've done this now about 3-4 years. Got the Huey helicopter out there. People are loving it. Rich has got some coverage of it. We had the veterans up. We always do God Bless the USA. We feed them, and then we get $1 off their beverages when they're here because it's our way of it's called Thank a Vets Day.
I think it's so much more than, just what you can kind of do for like a discount. What I really thought was cool. I was sitting on one side of the bar, and I wanted to go to the other so I could watch the crowd, so I could watch everyone come in, and you see the different representation from Army, from Navy, from Air Force, Marine, all that, and all walks of life, all different personalities, but they all come together and they have one cause to represent America.
Oh, yeah. And, I make it for all veterans. It's not just if you serve boots on the ground somewhere else. This is if you serve, period. 6 months, 3 years, 20 years, whatever. You're invited to this. It's thanking you for your time of serving our country and helping our country be a better place. And I tell you, I get emotional when that song's playing. And
it is. I was behind the camera. I was crying.
Oh yeah, it's just, and the guys are up there, and it's just neat to see the people honor them, and it's our way of saying thank you. A lot of times, veterans organizations will get labeled like we don't do enough or whatever. Well, I created this day about 3-4 years ago, like I say, and
I think it was a little because the first one I ran a wrestling show was like 4 years ago, actually.
And we wanted to make it to where we could have a great time with veterans, and they could just come and relax. No pressure, no nothing to do anything.
I think that's
just
important.
Enjoy.
The camaraderie that you see amongst everybody, and
Yes.
The appreciation from individuals like me that thank you for making this the greatest country that's ever existed. 250 years.
I had a friend of mine come in. I got started in this to rebuild this place. His nickname's Hippo, but his real name's Paul Hilmer. He showed up today, just tickled me to death. And one of our older members.
Hold on here real quick. He jumped the gun on me because there was also something very special today, a part of the acknowledgement, the honoring of our veterans. But there was a passing of a torch.
Yeah, I didn't know that was coming up, and they handed that to me, and I handed it to the new commander, and everybody was worried. I said, whoa, I'm not leaving. I'm just stepping down one notch under. And, I'm going to keep busy. I got to keep busy. And we want it to grow. We want people to come. We want people out here on this podcast. Stop in and see us. You will really see something that's different. And we want you to leave all your troubles at the gate. You come see us. It
is really something special when you come here, ladies and gentlemen. Not a veteran, but you get so welcomed here, and you're invited in to be a part of their community. This is probably one of the most magical, special places I've ever been, and it's so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
We'd love to have you down here, Harrison, Ohio, VFW 7570. Great time. It's just not about today. This is kind of like the Super Bowl, I think.
Yeah.
But there's events every week, where people are taking care of each other. And, we recorded last week. We were talking about the Angels rally.
Oh, yeah.
That was an amazing cause. It's week after week. And you always say, you invite people. You've got a rig. You need somewhere to stay. Come down here.
Yes. I always tell all my racers out there, come. If you got to have a place to stay, you don't want to stay in the rest areas now are getting so full of 18-wheelers. Call me. We got room out here. We'll take care of you. If you want to leave it for a week and fly home out of Cincinnati and come back and get it, you're more than welcome.
I'm going to do a disclaimer. If Pirate comes asking you for money, tell him you don't owe him.
But yeah, we have a great time here.
I like popping him every now and then.
I know. But I have had some racers come by and see me here, and I've had some stay, and I've had some bring their cars up and put them on display for the car show, and it's just a great place. I mean, when I got kind of semi-retired from the racing game, this was my next stop. And then I've been really busy with it. It's kept me going.
So let me ask you real quick. So I know the passion. You light up every time we talk about it. We're going to take that cruise down memory lane here.
Mhm.
But how you light up there, the passion you put in on every starting line, you brought that here.
Well, I tried to my whole life. Trust me, I've never been the perfect person, but I tried to. I want people. I like people. I mean, I might not get along with everybody, but hey, how you doing? What's going on? And you move on. Get rid of the hate and anger. There's so much hate and anger out here, Rich. It's hard for me to deal with, and I don't know how the young folks are going to handle it. But it's like, I just wish they learned to soften up the heart and enjoy life.
Hey, a little show note. He doesn't like me at all, but we do this. But
He's been the best. He's the one that got me started with this, and I'm glad we've done it.
Well,
it's been great.
One of my favorite things we do, because I see him sitting out there. We did make a mistake last week.
Yes, we did.
I made a mistake. I put the wrong car out there. I apologize. Quick editing. I had the race report at Edgewater. There's no excuse. I do apologize. So we will highlight this here again, right?
Right. This picture here is a Thunderbolt. We had Thunderbolt, but we had Dick Winley's Anglia on there, which we will cover later.
Oh, you know why I did that? The Winleys pay me.
Yeah.
That's what I got to do.
Well,
I got to push. I got to push their stuff.
Well, not only that, but you passed. Give the family copies of it, which was great. And it was the first car I had ever seen Dick in. But
that was his first world champion. That's what it was.
Yeah. And then, but this Thunderbolt, like I said, with Stan Haggard, it was a bad car in its day. One of the original Thunderbolts. So it was a neat car. So that, when I tell the story and you hear Thunderbolt, well, that don't look like no Thunderbolt. You'll see the picture of this episode.
I know this, and I promise we'll have the right one up there. Again, the Winleys pay me, so I'm just filtering their photos in. What else we got there?
This next shot, you're going to be surprised. Remember, I told you where the starting line used to be, right? Down by the lounge.
It always blows me away where you talk about how the whole.
Yes.
I can't imagine how it was.
How about a jet dragster running from there to the finish line?
Were they running 8th mile?
No, quarter.
How far did it go?
I mean, it went a quarter-mile mark, but he had to have them chutes out. And this car was called the Bonneville Avenger. And it was
the Avenger.
It was a neat car. They brought it in, filled in.
Oh, wow, look at this. This is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. And there was tons of people there. Look at them people behind there. And it was a neat car. And he ran there. He probably clicked it short of the quarter. But, you get the effect. Back in that day, you got the effect of the pops and the smoke and all the stuff. So people didn't care. They loved the noise.
What kind of sticks up to me? You get those big draw cars. Mm-hmm. There's no grandstands.
Yeah.
So everyone's just lined up and loving it.
Mm-hmm. They were standing on the fence 3 and 4 deep at Edgewater. There was only a couple small, right? Well, there was a section of grandstand past the lounge.
Okay.
That had been there forever, going towards the finish line.
I can imagine that.
And then there was one set on a little angle, which is where I took a lot of my pictures at. And it held probably 50, 60 people in it. And that was it. You stood, and people stood, and they loved it, man, because that's how much they enjoyed this sport. And then our final car is a car that ran there and used to run against Dick and give Dick fits, is the Thompson and Adams Anglia. This was an A-gas car.
You know how funny that sounds, right?
Oh, yeah. But give him fits because this car was stout, too. These boys lived up around Fairfield, I believe. And one of the descendants has the car repainted. They take it to the Cincy Street Rider show. It's green now, which I have a picture of it green later on.
Hold on. That looks familiar to me.
What's that?
Is that the gas hall?
No, this is Thompson.
It looks dead on the new gas hall.
Well, this car in the picture we had a Dick, all right? And they'll come up when we get going. There's the Golden Angel and a couple guys named Eckert and Kirk. Phil booked them in a 4-way Anglia match race, all A-gassers. And that was stout back then. Oh, yeah, just like watching Pro Stock. Yeah.
Well, you tell everybody around the city these guys are throwing down.
Oh, yeah.
That's a heck of an idea.
Yeah.
Bring your big dogs in, say a bracket, let them run.
Well, Eckert and Kurt were stout. They ran all over the country. Dick ran all over the country. Thompson and Adams stayed mostly in the Midwest. And the Golden Angel was out of Louisville. It was a stout car. It ran a lot of Ohio Valley, Beach Bend. But they would go out match racing. These guys match racing. It was a neat deal. Like Dick would run this one, the other two would run each other, and then you'd flip one to another one, and then you get to flip the last one. So it'd be a 3-way run. It was pretty neat. back in the day. And those cars were probably 10-second cars, which don't sound fast today, but
That's
you
pretty
look at
fast.
these old pictures in that
Pretty
track,
fast.
that's pretty stout back
Pretty
then.
fast.
Oh, yeah. So that was a neat deal back in the time.
Well, I
And
know
like I
we.
say, look at that crowd. Look at that.
Look, I love it. You know, it's just crazy. You know, like no grandstands. Because no, it's always packed on the fences. People love
Oh, they
just getting
back
as
their
close
cars
as
in.
they can.
Oh, yeah.
Back the cars and getting the closest they can. You know, as we always take that cruise down memory lane. But one of the things I know you love, Redman, is the honoring the unsung hero.
Oh, yeah. And I got a few. I got two I'm going to start out with, and I got two more I want to cover a little bit later in this. That is a special day for me for them. My first guy's Danny Townsend. Danny Townsend, great comp eliminator driver in a day, and then he progressed into alcohol funny car. And he won divisions numerous times, division champ in comp, division champ in alcohol dragster or funny car. And Danny had a real bad wreck at Columbus one year and kind of never rebounded back, but was such a great guy and lived up around Muncie, Indiana. He was just a great guy. He was a big sprint car fan, and him always laughing. Tell stories about Steve Kinser, the world king of the world outlaws, and we get a big kick out of it. My next guy is Al DePozo, and I was working bowling green when we lost Al. Al had a bad wreck down there, bad fire, real bad fire, and he got sent to Vanderbilt fire.
The like burned
Ward,
ward, and all that.
yeah, and he lasted a little while, and then pneumonia set in. And Al was a great driver. Al ran dragsters and he ran funny cars, and Al always friendly, always laughing, and he was division champ numerous times, and just a great all around guy Al was. And that's two of the Alky funnies that we lost that were really stout in Division III for years and years. And my next section is we talked about team names,
We
right?
love teams. We love them teams. Hey, we promote that. You got to get that branding. You got to get it going. Right? Make people excited.
A team brand today I got is Lucas Oil. What has Lucas Oil done for drag racing? Man, it's
Changed
just
the
been
game.
immensely, yes.
Changed the game.
And they sponsor a lot of cars. There's Tom Bear out west. There's a bunch of super comp cars out there. Morgan Lucas ran Top Fuel for years under the banner. Been funny cars. Have been John Lawson ran under the banner. Lucas, he has helped a lot of folks in drag racing. Forrest was a great guy. Morgan's still running the business. They still support all your Lucas Oil drag racing series. And just a great team. Had numerous cars. They wasn't afraid of what class. They sponsored.
Well, I was going to ask you here. You know, if someone has great ambition to get like that level of sponsorship, but even on a low level, how do you approach that?
Well, a lot of times these guys, mix and mingle in the pits, and say like if I'm Morgan Lucas, I might keep my eye on Rich here. Pretty stout driver, he's been winning a lot of money, he's been doing this, doing that. Hey, you want to go on the road a little bit? And I'll help you maybe with fuel or help you with this. We'll wrap the car in our logo. And that's how I do it. And they'll have Lucas shirts on. And like we talked, they'll sit there at their trailer, they'll have the stuff out, people can walk by, take samples.
We got to have the conversation, you got to have the information and all that. You just make it a presentation. Like people should be drawn to you. Well, that's one of the most beautiful things about drag racing. Well, every pit is a ticket.
Well, Tom Bear out west, he runs a drag racing school, and he's stout. He runs Top Dragster, Super Comp and stuff. And Tom's really good. He's a great ambassador for Lucas Oil. And he'll come. He should be coming back this way. He'll usually come into Bowling Green's points meet and then head to Indy before he goes back out west. But Tom's a hell of a guy, and he helps a lot of guys get started too. So they're really good. But Team Lucas Oil was pretty stout. And then my next thing is we got into names, right? Car names, people's names. And my first one is Tom Hoover. Tom Hoover started out Top Fuel Dragsters with his mom and dad. Pop Hoover, they called him Pop and Ma Hoover.
Yeah, Pop and Ma Hoover.
Yeah.
So what's the son call it?
Tom was his name. And he drove. Dad wrenched the car. Mom did a lot of the other sideline things. But Tom was a great showman. Tom was a great racer, won a couple races here and there, but great cars. And his name was Showtime.
Showtime.
Yes, his cars were always
I love that.
Showtime. And they were beautiful cars. And Tom loved the sport. He was out of Minnesota, so he was a hell of a driver up there. The next one is a famous one. Everybody should remember, hopefully a little bit. We just lost a couple of years ago. Don Schumacher.
Oh, no, that name.
Now his son still runs Top Fuel, and Don was sponsoring some teams. He had 2 or 3 funny cars, 2 or 3 dragsters, and he decided to get out and retire. And then we lost him. He got ill, and we lost him. But Don drove a funny car back in the day. His stuff was a lot of match racing. And he ran the Nationals and a couple other events here and there, but he was on the match race trail for a long time. And his cars were called Stardust. And the Stardust
Hold
cars.
on. You know, Stardust, that goes in my wrestling world because that was Dusty Rhodes back in the day, and then Cody did a little bit.
Yeah,
and that's pretty cool. Well, yeah, the middle one.
Yeah.
Dustin was the middle, but the Stardust was both of those.
And that was his car sponsor. He had a 65-year first year that Dodge brought out the Chargers, and he had one of them.
That's a good car for that. That's a good car for that.
So yeah, them were some great
Let me ask you here on car names. Is there any tips you could give to them? Because you know out there they just get their car out there. You got to give a character.
Right.
What tips would you give about naming a car?
Well, I mean, you look at yourself. You got a nickname, or you know, if you see something you like, maybe an old cartoon character, maybe a, you know.
Or
Clint
something that pops the audience,
yeah,
just remember the name.
Yeah,
like one of my favorite cars is the MTR, the Gas Hall.
Yeah.
Come on, you gotta love that name. You gotta love that.
Well,
I think that might be straight Axel Mafia, but either way, I'm sorry on it. But the Gas Hall is a great name.
Well, when we had when I get where we get in this section, I got some pictures from Texas when I was down there. It was a '57 Chevrolet Randy modified, and it was called the Frog. It had a picture of a green frog on the side of it. And it was a badass car.
That brings up kind of cool, you know. So if you're going to name your car, maybe talk to some business to business network and some sponsors. Because how cool would it be like a Frog Town sponsorship? You got the frog, you know.
Frog Town special, you know, whatever it may be. And that's what a lot of them do. And then, you know, it's like I said, it's something you come up with catchy. Maybe it's something you did as a kid. It's like we talked last week when we did the '62 Chevrolet. Bob Runts had that modified. He called it Rampage.
You keep bringing that up.
Yeah. No, the '62 Chevy. We did that one right. But his car later on was called Rampage, and it was a neat car. But that's a couple for this week. And then, let's see. I'll get my last little item here before I do my 2 specials.
We had a long day. He's been out outside.
It's been a hot. We've been here since about 9:30.
I love this setting. I'm looking at it right here. This is one of the most
This is our hall
settings.
in our flag. Neat back here from our
This
hall.
is very, very cool.
Yeah, this hall holds about 300 people. We're going to have New Year's in here. It's going to be pretty crazy. But
hey, we might have Redman live. We need 300 people in here. We'll have a stage show. You can ask questions and all that.
Just no dancing poles. Oh, by the way,
I'm out.
But we started on families, right? Generations. All right, I got a couple of these.
Leave it to Redman to transition from strippers to family.
But these guys, these 2 groups are out of the Louisville area, and people who know them, great people. We'll start out with Dad, who is Aaron Alvey. Great man, ran super stock and stock. Such a fine gentleman. I loved Aaron. We did a little tribute on him when I first started them mini celebrations. His sons are Mark and Matt. They run super stock cars, and Matt's got a comp car. And then we got the grandson, Austin's running, and Austin's run some races. And so there you go, 3 generations being passed down.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's what it's about.
Oh, yeah. The Alvey family are stout and great people. And then the next one is the Deckers.
Real quick on that, I think it's cool because you did generations. Your son's out there doing a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah. My grandson,
very, very
Parker
cool.
Cars.
Now he's doing, so you got 3 generations.
Yeah, Parker
The
Cars.
Hall of Famers got this. That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Does he tell people my great grandpa or my grandpa is
a
Hall of Famer?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he says
that's pretty
he
cool to brag on.
Helping him,
That's pretty cool to brag on.
Yeah, they love doing it. I don't know where they got it from, but they love doing it.
Where's your next one? I know you got one coming up.
I probably won't be doing anything till St. Louis, which will be in the fall. The big double out there.
St. Louis.
Now I'm hoping maybe they'll call me for Bowling Green because the Sports Nationals are going to be running the same weekend as the Lucas Oil, so that's going to be kind of a double. Mini national event plus a divisional. So, but this next family is the Decker family. And Paul,
hold on, I know these guys.
You know Josh.
I know
Ricky. So Paul Decker is the dad. He started out in the '67 Camaro running Superstock G automatic. And he raced for a lot of years, had a ramp truck, was neat. And then his two boys, well, Ricky took over driving, and Ricky's been world champion and division
Hard
champion.
to beat a world champ.
And his
Hard to
brother
beat a world champ.
Steve is one of the best little crew chiefs and foot patter, I call him, spotter for the starting line out there. And he does a lot of great stuff, Steve does. And then their son, which you have dealt with, Josh, runs a D automatic Corvette, and he won at a young age the U.S. Nationals.
You say dealt with. I like the guy.
I know. and we did. He won the U.S. Nationals.
That's pretty amazing.
About amazing.
Pretty amazing.
Win.
Pretty amazing.
I'll tell you, he's a stout one. He's a good kid too. I love the kid. He's great. But that's two of the families out there racing, 2 and 3 generations of them over the years. And my last little specialty, since we're dragging along, today is July 4th. I put it on my Facebook page earlier. As we celebrate our 250th birthday of the greatest country in the world, I have my best friend, one of my best friends, Leo Tower, was born on this day, 4th of July. And I lost Leo about 10 years ago, broke my heart. And we went everywhere together. He first one take me to Daytona Beach and to have a good time. And then we turned around and he announced, and such a great announcement. All the announcers are good. They all try. But Leo had a style that he didn't overkill you, underkill you. He was just steady and know everything. Like he could break comp down, tell you everything about comp cars. He could turn around and tell you the husband, the wife, the kids, the dog.
That's the magic.
The whatever.
That's the magic. It's not about the times where you're out there, the magic. And, I do falter on that, but I'll let you finish real quick because I have something to say.
Yeah. And Leo, how we got started in this one day, they were building Parks Tower, the original one. And they wouldn't let him park behind the tower. So he'd come back there. I was working the back of the lanes. Hey, you got a spot for my car here? And I said, sure, come on. So we're sitting there and he goes to work. I'm doing my job. Well, I'm sitting there having a beer at the end of the day.
Imagine that.
And he's walking by and he says, yeah, he says, you wouldn't happen to have another one, would you? I said, sure, get in the cooler there. And we hit it off. And I said, what are you doing? I said, why aren't you going to the Car Craft magazine? Because they used to have a big banquet during Indy. He says, I don't get invited to that. He said, I'm just going to go get some dinner and go out. I said, why don't you get in the truck, go and take a ride with me? And we drove around the pits and I introduced him to so many racers. And they'd look at us, Leo's here. That's the announcer, And he hit it off with them, learned everything. He was just a dynamite guy. I had so much fun with him. He's the only guy, cute story. You ready? That can eat French fries with his eyes closed and 2 cops sitting behind him. I'm trying to do the math.
I'm trying to do the math on this one. What? Or is he just going to blame you?
We were in Jerry's.
No, they come and say, you've been drinking. You say, I'm just the announcer.
Yeah.
I'm just the announcer.
We were at Jerry's restaurant.
You know what? I'm going to steal that line.
Yeah, we were toast. And I said, oh, God, we're in the booth right by these 2 police officers. And he said there, eating French fries with his eyes closed. It's a wonder we didn't get tagged. We knock on wood, but just a great human being, I tell you, and a patriot and a U.S. Marine veteran. Loved Leo. Next guy is Don Pinky Cobb. Don Cobb taught me so much on the certification team. His birthday's coming up July 10th. This is why these are partial to me, because mine's the 17th. And there's so many great racers with me. Yeah,
mine was yesterday. 17th. I had a hell of a birthday, but I don't think I can talk about it on there.
Yeah. And we turned around and we had Don just taught me so much. And he was so technical, and I'd have to get him loosened up a little bit. Dry sense of humor, but a great guy, all around great guy.
Was he like one of those zingers you didn't realize that he hit until like a couple of minutes later? Man, he got me.
And he ran the staging lanes at national events, so I had to deal with him a lot when I was working staging. And then
that's a whole other conversation. Yeah. We might do technical talk one day about how you pull him through.
But what I'm saying is, he moved to tech. Mm-hmm. And then I worked with him as we tech cars. And then he was a hell of a chassis guy too. He did chassis seminars, and I helped him with a couple of them. And Don was a great guy, Don, and a hell of a bowler. Don was a good bowler. But that's 2 of my special buddies that I worked with over the years. And I want to tell you one cute story, Edgewater. You always like me to do a little storytelling time.
I love that little story time.
Remember we were talking, you're standing here riding along the track, right?
Right.
Big old boy. I mean, big old boy.
Bigger than me?
Oh, yeah, drinking beer. And guess where the beer cans are going?
On the
out
track?
Towards the track. Well, actually the burnout area here. Well, about enough of that was happening. Up stepped three of Hamilton County's finest. You got to have to knock it off.
You just
You're
put it in the
going
air.
with
You
us,
put it in
right?
the air. Hey, I need a little help over here.
Well, I guess you give them a little gump, so they put the cuffs on him. Well, back then, before they got like they are now, they cuff them in the front instead of the back, right? So they pull this station wagon up here, they haul him off, right? And
Literally, that's where the paddy wagon came
Yeah.
from, right? So
I'll never forget this day. He had his hands like this. He had one leg in the back seat. I'm not going nowhere. And took his hands and knocked all three of those cops on the ground. Knocked them down. Rolling around on the ground. And he's trying to get
was he like trying to run away or what?
I don't know what he thought he was going to do, but it was like,
All right, so he didn't know what he was doing. He didn't expect that to happen.
Well, it gets better. He was trying to get out of the car, and all of a sudden, one out of nowhere, nightstick said, whack!
All right, so now you got the beat
on
down.
the head.
Now you got the beat down.
Knocked him out cold, and they put him in the back of the wagon, laying down.
Where else but drag racing, right?
But yeah, that was one of the cute stories. I'll never forget. I spectate watching that, like, whoa. And then when he come out of that car with him arms and knocked them three down, and that guy come out of nowhere and said, kapunk. I mean, it sounded like hitting a watermelon. He went down. And here it was, 4 or 5 of them loading him up in the back of the car.
Kapunk.
But what great times. That was just a little cute story from Edgewater.
I don't think we can end on any higher note on that one than this show. We're going to be back with you next week. Redman, you got a special episode you want to do next week. Just don't do too much, but a little teaser for a lot of people.
Oh, God, I love, his birthday month is great. And I'm getting ready to go to my favorite town, the 11th. I'm going to Nashville for a week. Love that town. Get to see some of my racing friends down there, Mike and Corky and George and Vicky and sometimes Mike Fuqua.
You might have a couple. You might have.
There'll be more than a couple. And but yeah, we have a blast. Faye and I love music, and we say music and eating, and maybe some sleeping. Yeah. Or maybe it's eating and music. We
if it
figure
fits
it out.
Right?
And drinking. So,
and we're gonna talk a lot about something on the next episode. It's even special to me, announcers. We touched a little bit here, but
yeah, we can touch on the announcers.
We're gonna talk on that. I'm gonna talk about Redman and how he's influenced me and helped me in so many ways. But hey, you've been listening to Redman in the House. Hey, it's a podcast.
Thanks for watching, guys. We love it.